Hello, my fellow YouTubers and my fellow TikTokians. This is Roy back again. We're going to start building the oscillator circuit, and we're having laminated steel cores. The first core was to hold the body of the motor block and the weight of the motor block, and the weight of this thing here, it's got to be 300 pounds, every bit of 300, 350, then the motor block. We are going to be connecting the oscillator circuit here, the grounding on the oscillator circuit. It's going to be attached to a 90-foot abandoned well that I have that has steel galvanized pipes. And the Leedskalnin had a well as well. And I'm in North Florida. The difference between my well and his well, my well will be at a water table of 90 feet. And by doing so, I don't know what I did wrong here. I have a well connected to the grounding oscillator system here on one part of the circuit, and the other part of the circuit is an antenna that's going to tap into the Schumann resonance. Now, unfortunately for me, to tap into the Schumann resonance, I am going to need about 6,000, I believe like 250 or so feet of wire for my antenna. So we're going to have to break that down. So can't have that much wire, obviously. So with that being said, we'll be breaking that down and building the antenna, which will go on the roof at 30 feet up in the air. We have 90 feet well, an artesian well, should I say, and it's pretty deep down there. And there's a lot of connecting down there. So the oscilloscope will connect to two capacitors with an air capacitor between. They will be dealing with the high potential of the electrostatics from the air, and we're going to dial in the 7.83 resonance wave. We are going to first set it up with a spark gap, and what we're going to do is we're going to allow the spark gap a visual of the frequency that we're tapping into as just the first starter off of. So you got your antenna, capacitance, variable, you got your grounding in 90 feet of water, galvanized pipe, and then you got way deep water underneath it, which is Florida's artesian well, and it's moving, it's filled with all calcium, it's filled with minerals. And we're going to get a good picture on the oscilloscope of where this wave is. And we got to first catch this wave and find this wave. In doing so, this here, the two pipes will have capacitors on top of here as well. And also, these will be out of phase and banging into each other. Now, two of PMHs not touching, but just magnetically banging in each other is going to send a pulse wave going down. When this is at the high side, this will be at the low side. When this is at the low side, this will be at the high side. So we're oscillating steel. What we're looking to do is talk to the steel, vibrate the steel, excite the steel in the oscillation here. And this oscillation will be like a metronome, where it's going to be 100 beats per, and we're going to attach and jump on the wave at the right moment. Now remember, the wave, it's like surfing. It's like Tesla said, the kid on the swing, got to push him the right time. Once we tune in this system to the electrostatics and the grounding system, we'll know we're at the right connection. And then over here on the back side, I had my distributor connected, so I will be able to know exactly. This is a 2-to-1 ratio. This goes around twice to this goes around twice to this is one time, and that's very important because that'll be the timer that controls the speed of the wheel. You'll have your metronome oscillator here. You'll have your each one of these are going to have coils going down. They are laminated. The coils will be electromagnetic pulsing in a bipolar fashion. Ting tong, ting tong, ting tong. This here will just be a great stand with great grounding, also connecting to the well and also the antenna. And then inside the wheel will be a double layered coil. It'll be a tesseract coil, which will be 12 points all connected to each other, as well as the antenna that's going on the roof is going to be shaped like this. If it needs to be 6 miles of wire, it will be. This drives all the energy. Static fields are best used. This takes the medium, the air around it, and pulls it into the center, compresses it, and it'll drive it down. The main rod pole coming down will be 30 feet to 42 feet up in the air. It'll drive it down the center, which will come down here, and it'll be the high potential to the dual capacitors, which will be a difference of potential with a spark gap as a safety gap to know when we're at its max potential, high or low, and we'll have a air capacitor to be able to adjust. Now, the idea with all this is once we get this all going, we are going to look at a 90-degree situation here, that the coming out 90 degrees, I'll have a welded pipe coming out, and basically it'll be our amperage, and then you'll have your high potential up here, and we're going to build another circuit to where we blend those two together, and from there we should have an enormous amount of potential difference, and we will figure out, I call it lightning in a bottle. And lightning in a bottle to me is not lightning per se, but it's the fact that you can have an open tap to the ground that's oscillating using steel, which I was told as a kid, if you took all the energy it took to make the steel, you can run a whole city off of it for a long time. So we're going to go tap atomically into that oscillator by using Ed's love of steel. And I know this is barbaric, guys. I appreciate the comments. Trust me. Trust me, trust me. I understand it. This is just to show a prototype of how it can be sized down and become in a circuitry oscillator, along with anything that you could come up with. There's going to be a lot of pressure going on here because these coils will be increased. The pressure will be going inward to the center with the tesseract coil in here. It'll be point it out to, there's a bolt here in the middle that shoots down. There's a bolt here in the middle that shoots on an angle like that. There is another bolt right there. So this wheel is set up in quadrants of north, south, east, and west. And I'm looking for a legitimate compass, but I don't see one. But here you go. Well, have a good day, guys. It's not going to be turning that fast. There is some tension on there, but we'll loosen it up a little bit. We will have this 200 amp alternator. It's going to put way crazy resistance on the bottom of this. And we have, if we want to use, is this AC motor, variable speed, to put on the pulley on the other side. I don't know if I want to use the motor, but I most definitely could use it and put a pedal on the ground like a sewing machine and use it as a speed controller. Leave your comments. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.